I want to jump into this gym thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a culture there. My concern is with the teenagers and men in general. Everybody on this pre-workout vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about people's use of pre-workout drinks in our fitness culture. Please speak on the dangers of consistently consuming these items super high in caffeine.
Caffeine is crazy because caffeine is a stimulant, and any type of stimulant to the body is bad. Herbs are stimulants, too many herbs, and the whole thing is to put the body needs to challenge itself. That's why we have these magnificent specimens we call bodies anyway. So when you constantly tricking the body start depending on being tricked, and a certain chemistry and certain chemicals that the body produces naturally, it stop producing these things. So if you're using caffeine to get a high electrical workout or high energetic workout, the crash is coming. Anytime you have a stimulant, it goes up. ATP is being fired off in the cells. You're getting this burst of energy, but then the mitochondria is getting worn out, and you got to make new mitochondria. So caffeine is bad. Not only is caffeine bad for the heart, but caffeine is bad for the autonomic nervous system. Caffeine is bad for the actual adrenal glands. Caffeine is bad for the intrinsic nervous system. The caffeine is bad and is very, very, very acidic, meaning that you away at the nerves. And what we have seen a lot of heavy caffeine use due to dementia, Alzheimer's disease in the long run. So I would say this: if you want energy, just start the workout process, period. When you start burning cells and when you start moving cells and burning muscles, you start producing something called lactic acid. This lactic acid will actually take your cells through something called an anaerobic process. These anaerobic process will start burning a whole lot of fuel quickly. Once you burn that fuel, it's going to cause the body to create more mitochondria. The more mitochondria you have, the more oxygen is going to need to come into the body. This is what's going to actually bring you high energy. I actually think caffeine is a stimulant in the beginning, but in the middle of your workout is all placebo. Your energy been gone. It's placebo. You thinking this stuff really doing something and it's not. So if you really want to get a real effect of working out and having energy, just start the workout process, period. And about 10 to 15 minutes in the workout, you're going to feel that natural energetic pull kick in. And that's literally your adrenal glands and the mitochondria producing itself real fast, where you can get more oxygen, for carbon dioxide can build up, and carbon dioxide can actually pull oxygen from hemoglobin, turn that into water, and then this water is used as fuel that we call ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And that's where you get your power, that's where you get your strength, your vitality, and your energy from. So if you want to have a lot of energy throughout the day, as soon as you get up, work out. Even if you're tired, just work out. 15 minutes within that workout, you're going to see energy just come out of nowhere. And that's because you are forcing your cells to produce more mitochondria. And the more mitochondria you produce, the more ATP you can yield in the body, which is your fuel for energy.
All right, facts. Next one is best fruits, herbs, and roots to build muscle.
The best fruits, herbs, or roots to build muscle. The best fruits to build muscle will be avocado. I love avocado. The best herbs to use to build muscle will be alfalfa leaf. Alfalfa leaf. They actually give alfalfa leaf to horses when horses are on a hay diet and they're getting very, very fatigued and their bodies start to shut down and they're getting real skinny, to put mass on them. Because notice horses don't eat meat. They're herbivores. They get them alfalfa sprouts, and them alfalfa sprouts is full of cellulose, it's full of bioflavonoids, it's full of photons, and the bioavailability of minerals is just super dense in them. So you will see them on alfalfa sprouts for a week or two, and they gain all their mass back. So that's what we use. And then bamboo shoots. Bamboo shoot roots is amazing if you can boil them before you eat them, though. Chinese people put a lot of baby bamboo shoots in their rice and stuff like that to keep the molecular structure built. So just look at herbivores and look at frugivores. Your frugivores are your primates, and these are your gorillas. Study what gorillas eat and notice gorillas are the most muscular things in the jungle. They don't work out. But yet you see their pecs, you see their triceps and their biceps, you see their forearms. They don't work out though. It's because of what they're eating. And then look at other mammals and look at other herbivores in the jungle, or what I say in the forests, and what they eat. So your fruits and vegetables, man, and just keep it diverse, man. It'll grow muscle. A lot of people don't realize that the moment you start changing your diet, the body will get rid of what's weak first. And usually what's weak is the adipose tissues. And that's these white fatty cells. You got three types of cells. You have white fatty cells called adipose tissues or adipocytes. Then you have this cholesterol looking one, which is between this white and this brown color. And then you have triple brown fatty tissues. What they're getting rid of is the fatty tissues that you don't need anyway, because it's a bunch of stored up sugar that the body don't even need, because it brings you into a state of fermentation, and this brings fungus, and fungus causes cancer. So what we need to do is burn those anyway. So the moment you go on a fast and the moment you change your diet, what happens is you start losing all of them that basically is estrogen built adipocyte cells. Fatty cells. So people think that means you're getting skinny and losing weight. No, you're getting rid of toxins, because guess why the body get fat and you get fat cells anyway? It's to store and it's to hide acids, for acids don't destroy the cells. One thing that they hide is estrogen. Estrogen is very acidic, especially synthetic estrogen. So the more estrogen you take in through your diet, the more fat cells you're going to build up to become a storage for estrogen. That's what these fatty cells are. Adipose tissues is a storage cell for acidic toxins. So once you start fasting and getting rid of the acidic toxins, guess what you're going to get rid of? The fatty cells, or what you would call adipose tissues. So people correlate eating healthy to being skinny. No, once the body rids itself of all the toxins, and once you actually get your stomach into a balance of homeostasis, everything you eat, you'll be able to yield from every different mineral, every different amino acid, and every different bioflavonoid of that food. I have no problem gaining weight, but guess what? I don't have adipose tissue cells. Now, not only do I don't have that, but I eat a very, very good diet. So I can eat anything and gain weight off of it. And the whole thing, everybody always asking about that. Let's start asking the gorilla what he eat. And we don't see him losing no weight. And they got big bellies with big upper strength. Let's ask the horse. That's an herbivore. They don't eat meat. They don't eat none of these so-called proteins. And let's get it straight. All proteins come from plant material. Horses get proteins from plants. Gorillas get proteins from plants. When you look at a feline, or what you would call a lion or a tiger, they eat and get their protein, a second metabolic protein, from an animal that actually got their protein from a plant. So if we're gonna keep it real, we are doing the same things that the carnivore is doing. They're eating this flesh, and they only eat flesh that eats plants. So they even know that they need to have these proteins that's essentially from the plant. So I say, let's cut out the middleman. Let's forget killing innocent animals and go straight to the plant source. So that's where you get your protein from. So if you really, really want to gain weight while you on this diet that you're supposed to be on, you have to get rid of the toxins first, because the fatty cells, these adipose tissues, is going to become a storage for the toxins. If you build up more toxins, the DNA is going to go through its transcription. The DNA is going to tell the ribosomes to produce new more fatty tissue cells, because you have more toxins to store. So when you look at people that's obese or people that's super overweight, that's a lot of toxins, accumulation and coagulated mucus and toxins and broken down cells that they can't get out of their body, because the body have a magnificent way of protecting itself. So before it let all these toxins and toxemias into the bloodstream, it's going to create these fatty storage cells to store up all of them toxins. That's it.
That's wild, bro. All right. I have to ask you this one too. We recently interviewed Jeremiah Owusu from the Cleveland Browns.
That's my brother. Shouts out to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I love you, my brother.
All right. He mentioned he mentioned your role in him making the all rookie team, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't remember what was in the gorilla mix.
I didn't tell him.
Do you know? Are you gonna reveal what was in the gorilla mix?
I'll give y'all 2 ingredients. And the reason why is because I haven't got it back yet from its clinicals. So I did my own clinical trials, because they tried to make me pay like $30,000 to like have my own subjects, 16 subjects where they watch them. We reached out to Johns Hopkins University. We reached out to so many universities because I knew it worked, because I tried it on myself. It gave me high energy. It gave me great circulation down there, great circulation. Great circulation. So it had me performing like I was an athlete and I wasn't working out. So, I had all these athletes, all these NBA players and all these professional basketball players, plus rappers reaching out to me. So I'm like, well, look, I got this formula I created for me. It worked good for me. Y'all want to see if it works? So they're like, give me that. Man, I started giving that, man. I'm talking about, I wish I could mention some of the names, but it's people running touchdowns. It's people dunking, and don't nobody know, but they own my gorilla mix. So Jeremiah came around, and he had the same thing going on. He had just turned vegan, and he was losing a lot of energy on the field, even though he was still dominating. He just had lost some weight. He wanted to gain his weight back, and he wanted to get more higher performance. So I said, man, I got something for you. It's been working for everybody else. So, man, I gave it to him, man. Hey, all you start seeing is highlights come across the screen, man. So it truly, truly worked. And it's called Gorilla Mix. So, and it works very good. So one of the ingredients is alfalfa. What I was talking about with the horses. It's alfalfa. But we changed the name of it. I called it High Octane. We working on getting, so I did my own clinical trials with Jeremiah and all the other names that I can't mention. Hopefully once everything is clear, we'll be able to mention all of the professional basketball players and all the professional football players that's actually on it in the field, that's showing tremendous progress just off their energy that they yielding from it. But we're just waiting on to get it signed off and by the F, because I want to sell it on a worldwide scale. So we waiting on the FDA. So once they get out, then it'll be out there.